All right, y'all. Next up, I want us to get into Skai, Miss Skai Jackson, because Skai recently filed a restraining order against her son's dad, Mr. What's his name, DeAndre Birkin. Or no, I think it's Burgeon, DeAndre Burgeon. So basically, she accused him in this documentation of putting her head through a wall, threatening her to get a abortion, wanting her to drink bleach, and also he sent threats her way. Right, he held a knife up against her stomach while she was pregnant, and her mom also filed a restraining order against him. And next thing you know, his mom and his sister has been harassing her, right? But she says that this has been going on since 2024 throughout her pregnancy, and I'm willing to believe that it has been going on much longer, right? But she just documented everything from back then up until recent, because there have been some things to take place then. And I'm glad that she's getting out of it. I feel like, like I said, it's something about after the women have the children, something just switches and clicks, and it's like, I can't deal with this no more. But before we give our thoughts on Skai, there is a video that I do want us to check out. So let's get into what this guy had to say.
Oh, I hate this nigga.
That is something that happens. So what I'm telling you is that sometimes in a relationship, things can go bad where the woman tends to want to hurt the man, right? So like, and these guys are celebrities. So DDG just now he just lost 4 deals. Well, he said, no, not 4. He lost a lot of deals. And he said, I'm a quadruple when y'all come back, right? So you got to understand something. Now think about what that threat is. Think about that threat for a second. That means if I'm mad at you, Alex, I can say, I'm going to tell the world that you hit me. And the world is inclined to believe you over me. And we're watching people lose careers behind it. Like a lot of y'all probably too young to remember Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston, but like when they got together, Whitney was America's sweetheart. Bobby Brown was the guy that America didn't like, because why would Whitney be with Bobby? And now she's on drugs and everybody hates Bobby because she got him on drugs. And then we find out that Whitney was the one that got Bobby on drugs.
That's not what happened.
That residue hurt Bobby Brown's career.
Bobby Brown hurt Bobby Brown's career.
The world didn't. So when people, and here's how I look at it. This is why it means so much to me, because a man's first job is to provide and protect. Indeed. That's a man's first job in his family's life, to provide and protect, right? Mm-hmm. So when you do that, you're taking the opportunity from him to provide away. So now it's almost like, and I hate to say this, it's like the Chris Brown Rihanna playbook, right? If you know that they had a toxic relationship, and it obviously spilled out, but that when that picture got leaked, Chris Brown is the villain. It don't matter what happened. At that moment, it's like that video of Puff. When that video of Puff hitting Cassie, it's a wrap. It's like, that's like the nail in the coffin. My only thing is that, number one, people make mistakes, so let's not kill them. That's like, let's not kill people because they fucked up. Let's not kill people because they made a mistake. Let's take a moment to teach them. Yeah. So what's happening is that these girls are saying these guys are doing these bad things, and the world is just saying, fuck them, he's dead. Kill him, he's dead. We don't want him around, he's gone. And it's like, bro, like, she can do that to hurt somebody. She can do that to hurt. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, women do things that hurt men all the time. And sometimes for them, it don't mean nothing because they just said it, but it hurts. So my thing is, like, we just need people saying, look, guys, let's wait to see what happened. And everybody was mad at me, the DDG thing. I'm like, we don't know what happened, but we know that she's connected to a very smart team.
Indeed.
So if I'm on her team, I'm like, we got to get out there first. Like, he's like, if you got to get your word. It's like, because whoever gets the word out there first controls the narrative. But then it'd be that moment where it's like, I don't want to kill him, I love him. Or I don't want to kill her, I love her. And it's like, hey, this is business. You need to do it. So these people are like, you have people in your ear ruining your lives, ruining people's lives, telling them what to do. And we're seeing all these families suffer. And I'm tired of it. So the DDG thing, the Tory Lanez thing. First of all, like Megan is walking around torn right now. So for somebody to do 10 years, for somebody to get scabbed on, like scraped on their foot from a bullet, like if that happened to me and you shot me, and I wouldn't want the person that shot me in jail for 10 years.
What?
Especially if it wasn't a mistake or if it was like an accident. I wouldn't want, especially if I hate you. I'm like, I don't want that nigga in jail for 10 years. I'm walking around. I'm fine.
So she didn't
So
press
my only
those
thing I'm saying
charges.
is that
So there's
sometimes
that.
we kill these men because of what women say
They're
without
not
doing
dead.
any kind of background check. And that is not fair. By the way, that's what I want to happen for me. Somebody out here trying to kill my name, don't let them kill me. Let somebody just say, hold on, guys. Is that the Ray we know him to be? You see what I'm trying to say? And what I said on the joke thing was, I watched the DDG interview, and I even tweeted it before that. I tweeted on my Instagram. I was like, I want to interview DDT. I like that kid. So now people are hitting me like, oh, you're like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, bro, when I saw him, all he was focused on was streaming, building his business, and taking care of his child. And when a man wants to take care of his child, women allow us to take care of our child, but they don't necessarily want to hear our opinion on it. So you can give us money, but don't tell me what to do or how to, this my rate. You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it could be a lot of that. So my only thing is that in this case, before we just start going crazy and ape shit and just killing men, and Skai said that dude did it, he did it. It's something important in the Skai Jackson case that you got to focus on. Skai said she tried, somebody look up while we in here, look up how old Skai's baby is. Skai Jackson baby. She had the baby. So the baby is 4 months old. This baby is 4 months old, and you telling us about him trying to make you drink bleach when you were pregnant. So let me tell you what really happened. I'm not saying that didn't happen, guys, but here's why men get confused. If you're watching, here's why men get confused. Because she'll say that, like, oh my God, like he tried to get me to do bleach or whatever. But as a man, it's like, but it's over now.
This nigga dumb as hell, bro.
So
like,
I've let that go.
It's over now, though.
Women
that
hold on
happened
to
already.
until they need it, until you piss them off, until they want to see you hurt, until they tired of you fucking thinking. And then it's like, this nigga told me, hey, I should drink this for my baby. And it's like,
tired of what?
He said that 8 months ago. Why didn't you say that 8 months ago when he said it? Because you still loved him and you want to protect him and you cared. And now you don't care about him, so now fuck him. But he's still the father of your child.
But he
still has to take care of your child.
And he still
knew he was the father when he was abusing her. This
Talking about how much he loves his kid.
I have seen him. He was on the Joe Budden podcast on Mark Lamont Hill, and I heard him say, like, he basically said, you're arguing for the other side. He's pretending as if he's trying to be fair. Like, that's how he's kind of posturing himself. Like, y'all have to really think about, but that's not what it is. He let it slip out when he was talking to Mark Lamont Hill, talking about you arguing for the other side, when Mark Lamont Hill was making whatever argument that he was making based on the facts of the situation. And you're talking about he's arguing for the other side. So if you have already decided that you're on the side of these men, no matter if they are guilty or not, then there's no point in even having this conversation with you, because we all know what your point here is to do, which is to make allowances for the abuser, because you are projecting. You're making allowances for yourself. You're an abuser and you're trying to get a platform like Kevin Samuels with a whole bunch of other whack ass abusers. If y'all want to let him do that, fine. But he's a record executive. I want to see his track record. I want to see who you worked with, and I want to know if they have some stories about you, because you seem like the type of person that might have. Listen, where the story?
It's over.
It's over.
Like he's saying, basically with that logic, he's saying just because somebody did something to you one time, if you didn't say nothing about it, oh well, it's over. So at what point are you not allowed to say enough is enough? Right. I really hope he don't have daughters. I really hope he don't have daughters. He would be the worst. I wanted to say, he said something that stuck out to me and I can't remember what it was.
He said a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know, because he was going all over the place. But fuck him, simply.
Was it the Halle and DDG?
Was he just that? Or what? Oh, yes. The Halle and DDG, he said her team said, let's get in front of it, and the women control the narrative. But the thing is, Halle's team didn't put out any narrative because she wasn't going on social media to try to prove a point or make him look a certain way. She went to the courts because she had evidence. And then same to Bonnie's point, like she said, Meg Thee Stallion didn't directly press those charges on Tory Lanez. Those charges came from the state. So it's just like, sir, let's stop. if these people were actually innocent, these people wouldn't have proof or anything to come forward with. Plus, it was allegations of him being abusive before we even found out she was pregnant. Actually, the allegation was that she was the one that was abusive, because I think they got into an argument.
On the
She
street.
was the one who took the charge, because we talked about it on the show. She was the one who took the charge, and I think she ended up going to jail for a day. So,
Ooh.
Skai.
Oh, I
Skai.
thought you were talking about Halle. I was like, girl, when that happened? Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking about
Yeah,
Skai.
I got you.
They're all
But yeah,
innocent.
no, that's happened before. So it's just like,
And
whatever.
that thing about Bobby and Whitney, I was like, you are relying on people not to know Bobby's story. But as somebody that loved Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, I know their fucking story. And Bobby has been doing drugs since he was a teenager. That was not on Whitney. They both came together doing drugs. The difference was when he was ready to quit, she wasn't. Just like when she was ready to be faithful, he wasn't. But their relation, first of all, people did not just dislike him because of the drugs. They disliked Bobby because Bobby was abusing Whitney, cheating on her, and kept going back and forth to jail. Let's be very clear. When we were younger and growing up, every other fucking month, Bobby Brown was going to jail for a DUI. Bobby Brown was going to jail because him and Whitney got in some
Not
type
me
of fight.
crazy.
Huh?
Not the Browns having a situation every year.
Girl, yes. Like back in the day, like in maybe what, 90, I want to say between, they got married, what, 1994, around that time. By the time we get to 1999 and they do the last tour, they are consistently in the news all the time, not because Whitney's on drugs at that time. It's because Bobby's always getting arrested. Bobby's always driving drunk somewhere. Bobby's all caught cheating somewhere, and he would go to jail, and Whitney would be working in between, getting high and waiting for that nigga to get out of jail and paying for the fees. And then on top of that, when everybody was shitting on Bobby, Whitney was the one that was getting up during all of her speeches where she was getting awards talking about, that's my husband, Bobby Brown. So that's mine right there. All of the memes and shit that comes from all of the times that Whitney was out there protecting that man's image and supporting him, even though he was resenting her because her star overshadowed his. I think that once they got together, she's a bigger artist. He was like the bad boy of R&B and all of that. I think he allowed being in their relationship to curtail him. Like he wasn't focusing on his music the way he was on that first album, because he killed on that first album. The second album was okay, but the first album, the nigga killed.
Somebody in the comments said that's how Phaedra showed up, because he was having affairs.
Yes. Remember, Phaedra was his attorney at some point.
Right, but do y'all think that they're trying to say Phaedra was connected to him, and that's how she became the attorney, was because she was having an affair with Bobby? Oh, I think that's what they're trying to say.
Oh, no.
I know
that's how.
I'm
hollering.
I don't know. That's interesting.
That is.
But as far as I'm talking about career ending, I'm like, and him using that whole drug thing, I'm like, that man benefited greatly off of being connected to Whitney Houston. So don't do that. He's going on to be very successful and relevant till this day.
And he always speaks highly of Whitney. He don't really speak badly on her. I think before she died, I think we all know he fucked up in some, like he did her dirty in a lot of capacity. Like you dogged her out and then you left her. And it's true. You was trying to get off the drugs and she wasn't, but you relapsed on the alcohol plenty of times since she's died. So don't act like your drug use or your addiction was because of her. Y'all was just two people that was both addicted that had a toxic relationship. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, at the end of the day, I love them both. I'm really happy that Bobby has continued to perform and be able to do New Edition and all of that. But what he just did just then, that shit right there, that's the type of shit that pissed me off. Cause you then make people that how did Whitney get in it? But it's all these women that go up for they niggas for the longest. And then as soon as everything break down, now they're the worst, even though they spent most of the time uplifting these niggas.
I could tell. I mean, I could tell. Well, you know what? My thought was, okay, he talking from a place where he does not have the details and then read, the documents. And then I'm like, well, no, it wouldn't have mattered because that's how he feels. He feels like he has to be a voice for the men because the women unite and all of this other stuff. And then for him to put it on the team, to put it on Halle's team, to pretty much shield old boy from what it is that he did, that was definitely whack. that girl got video, and I wouldn't mind seeing him exposed just a little bit. You don't go up in nobody's house, because I feel like that's breaking and entering. Okay, she could have got you on a charge. You just coming up in her house taking a picture of her damn bed, talking about you see what she be on. Like, no, sir.
Like,
Okay.
that's not him. I'm still not over him talking to the AI version of her, and you sitting up here talking about she the one that. No, first of all, he has always been the one putting shit on social media before she did, and I would like to pat myself on the back for clocking that shit ever since she got pregnant. Every time you turn around, he was putting something out on social media while she was trying to keep everything on the low. Like, it wasn't a accident that things kept coming out. Like when he was on live and you see her walking in the background, and that was like the first time we was like, oh, that bitch pregnant. And then, and she kept, remember April Fools, he puts out a sonogram. Like, it was just all of these little things that is showcased. She's trying to keep it a secret, and you keep trying to put it out there. That's his MO, to go to the public. That's his MO, to go to social media first, not hers.
Right.
She toxic. She was down for that stupid ass nigga. Don't get me wrong. But she was always still, I think, trying to keep things way more private than him to this day. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, I think the same thing with Skai. I think, she was I don't know if he was already locked up when they met, but she was aware of like his history already of being like locked up and stuff. And I know there was a situation that happened online to where she tried to come to the front and, like, of course, give her thoughts on it and try to like downplay whatever was happening. I can't remember what it was. I think he did something on like a live, IG live or something like that. And this is definitely going to be a lesson learned for her, because I'm sure your mama tried to tell you the fact that she had to get a restraining order is crazy.
Can I tell you?
And then he threatened to get your mama killed. Yeah, get far away from him. Long overdue.
Angry, redhead, light skinned ass little boy.
Listen, I want to tell y'all something though. So
what?
Don't tell nobody. Y'all know what I'm saying. Don't tell nobody. Probably got 1,000 people in here. Don't tell nobody. Listen, my mama always used to tell me about how she got married, right? And y'all know I've told y'all about my dad. My dad was controlling, abusive. He was a narcissist. Like, you wouldn't call it that back then. But like, now that I'm older, I really understand it clearly. And the reason why I can understand it is because I had like a really good example to show me. Y'all, the nigga did not even propose. And I was wondering, I was like, I never heard a proposal story, y'all. And this is why I know about the love bombing and why you have to be careful no matter how good this shit looks. My dad did not propose to my mom. My dad told everybody that he was going to marry her on Christmas Day, had my aunt make flowers, had my godmother come from California with a dress, and surprised my mama on Christmas Day with a pastor and a fucking wedding. She was fine with this because she told him, I'm not about to keep living with you and not be married to you. That was a conversation that they had at some point, but you still took all of her choice out of it.
Yeah.
Did not propose, never got on one knee, never asked her to marry, just showed up. Christmas, everybody comes to the house. Surprise, we getting married. And it also puts you in a position to not say no, to not be able to have it happen the way you really wanted it to happen. What if you didn't want to wear what the fuck T. Deborah had for you to wear? You know what I mean? And it was sold to me like it was so romantic when I was growing up because it was on Christmas and it was a surprise. And when I tell y'all their anniversary being on Christmas meant everybody's happy on Christmas. Like, Christmas is our favorite holiday in our family because like it's all of these good things happen. If he's mad throughout the year, by the time we get to Christmas, all of that shit is cleared up and we in happy mode when Christmas time comes. But when I thought about that shit, I was just like, Ma, you know that's fucking crazy, right? She was like, I didn't think that at the time.
Right.
But I'm like, that's how the coercing thing happens. Where
you know who else did it?
Oh,
Ludacris and Nelly.
I did not know.
They both did that. I think that's what happened with Nelly and Ashanti. They didn't have no wedding.
Oh,
no, I mean,
it was just
like a surprise.
Yeah, it was just boom, and then Ludacris did the same thing.
I'm telling y'all, I know we think that shit is romantic and all of that. But now that I was there and watched their life and how the control everything all the time to the point of making us fucking sick to some extent, Yeah, no, you really have to pay attention to these small little things that come off like it's sweet, or like somebody's taking something off of your plate, or here come a man doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. You don't have to think about nothing. But really what it does is put you in a cycle of not caring about certain things, so you don't be looking. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like he took care of her. Like to this day, my mom is well taken care of because of my father's pension, his insurance, all of that shit. But when I look back, he really took her choice away from her in a lot of ways. And I do feel like my mom shrunk herself in a lot of ways to be with him. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's not something I'm willing to do. So, you know, thanks for the lesson, because I'm not fucking doing it. Looking just like him, as I said, I'm not fucking doing it. But yo, when I tell you, it had never crossed my mind until this past week. I was thinking about it, and I remember talking to Lyric like, babe, I don't think my daddy ever proposed. I never heard a story about a proposal. And then my mama called me one day, and I'm like, Ma, let me ask you something. And she was like, no, he did not propose. And I'm just like, yeah, that nigga was crazy, man.
You gonna make me ask my mama and daddy that, because I never heard about a proposal story either. I need to ask them. They still married,
Bruh. And they would have still been married too. She threatened to leave his ass. He was getting old. And once they get old, they get a little bit more like reasonable. They're not as, you know, scary anymore once they get old.
Yeah.
But man,
somebody asked how old your mom was, if you didn't mind them asking.
At the time. So my parents are 11 years apart. My dad, when they got married, let me think. I was 31 when she was born, and that was the year that they got married. So he was 42 and she was 31. That's why I said 30 is young. And they had been together since she was about 25 or 26. And he applied a lot of pressure. She didn't like him at first, and he kept showing up to her job, kept showing up, kept coming get haircuts so he can talk to her and nag her until she went on a date with him. And, you know, the nigga with a good, you know, he's boomers. Boomers had good jobs, good benefits, a nice house, taking you on trips. You got diamonds and furs. Everybody in your family ain't got no motherfucking mink. Bitch, you got a mink. I was supposed to inherit a nice rabbit coat, but then Katrina happened, bitch. But yeah, like, bro, when I tell you it, like when you really think back on some of these things, Shy, I was just like, wow, you just don't even really know. You don't even fucking know.
Wow. Okay. Anything else on Skai?
Just that I think it's something to be said about the girls who have money. And I think that, or, you know, grew up in an affluent lifestyle of some sort, them going reach for gutter snipe ass niggas in order to prove downness, prove blackness. And then these men kind of using that against them. Cause I feel like Keke Palmer, same situation. Halle Bailey, same situation. It just reminds me, it reminds me when I was younger and my parents would warn me about certain types of hood people, and you would have to basically find out for yourself that you
What you mean? What you mean? Expand on that.
like they be grimy. Like certain hood people are grimy as fuck, not trustworthy, and they're snakes. They pretend to be nice, they pretend to be kind, and really they're users and snakes and grimy as fuck. They'll smile.
The people who got out the mud.
Yeah, and
that's how I be describing Marlo, and people be getting mad at me.
No,
people who come from struggle.
Yeah,
they'll cross you. It's survival mode.
Oh, sure.
I'm not saying everybody who struggles is like that, but I'm saying some people never remove themselves from the survival mode.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I also feel like it's about the type of family, like the type of family
dynamic. Yeah.
that you have, because you know, it just depends. Somebody, hold up, I saw somebody, you think it's about proving blackness? I think they genuinely find it attractive. It's not, two things can be true at the same time. It is proving blackness because when you grow up as a Disney kid, or you grow up speaking a certain way, even as a regular kid like myself, when you grow up speaking a certain way, the black kids around you are always telling you you're not black enough because you don't perform your blackness in a certain way based on your socioeconomic standing in your family, right? I even got made fun of by my cousins because of the way I talk. So I started to speak in a way that they would not make fun of me for. I know how to speak correct English. That was a natural thing for me. But I had to start speaking more in my accent and leaning into the way that my cousins talk so they would not make fun of me. That right there is the feeling that those girls feel. Peep, Kiki Palmer. Remember Steve Harvey had a conversation with her and told her, don't go be with no man that has less money than you. And she was like, no, I can't deal with that because men with the money, they da-da-da-da. But a part of that was about her having to prove that I don't think I'm above y'all. And that's when I say proving black is really trying to prove I don't think I'm above y'all. That's what it's about. So you go get a man that you feel like he might not have as much, but this proves that I don't feel like I'm above him just because I'm this Disney kid and I've acquired
exactly.
This.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And then you make him your elite employee.
Right.
Girl, getting 20% and you paying all the bills. I'm sliding.
Hello? Ralph getting what, 60% is crazy.
What? Are you talking about Ralph and Drew?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I thought about somebody else who did that. Matriarch. Read that book if y'all ain't read it. Matthew didn't propose to Cena.
I'm reading the part where she talk about him cheating all the time and she was about to leave him when Solange was born, but they was like really good at putting their family together in a salon and all of that. And that was another thing, y'all. My daddy helped my mama get her salon together. Like she was working with somebody else. As soon as they got together and she had me, my mom bought her own shop. And let's not forget, women couldn't own, like they could not get like what was it, the bank loans or something like that until 88.
Yeah, credit cards, loans.
Yes. I was born in 1988 and she went and got that business the year, maybe like a year, I was maybe 1 or 2.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of shit that women could not do without a husband. No, for real. It was a lot of shit you could not do without a husband. And everybody forgets about that because we had the 90s and the 2000s and so much media has happened in this time frame that we've been able to do it. So people don't remember the time where women could not go and get their own businesses. Even if they could have their own account, they needed a husband to sign off on shit.
That's just, child. I'm so glad things have changed.
Girl,
Thank the Lord.
That's crazy. I hate to see where we would be if it was the same.